Hi, this is Dave. Welcome to my high school vinyl and CD thread. I've liked music as far back as I can remember. In my preteen years, I listened to 45s, had a little cheap plastic close and play record player, also had a GE transistor radio that I listened to top 40 stations. But high school is where I really got serious about being a music fan and kind of having your own, musical identity. So I thought it would be fun and interesting to see what vinyl community members were listening to back in their high school years. The rules are simple. The record had to be released that year of school, and needs to be an album that you and your friends were really into at the time. Doesn't have to be a record that you like now. No one's going to judge you if you were listening to Mr. Blobby or Tiffany. I mean, this is the internet. It's a judgment-free place. But it's a record that when you hear it now, you get immediately transported back to that place and time. So my freshman year, one of those records would be Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. Every time I hear this record, it takes me back to my high school parking lot. My neighbor, who would give me a ride home after school, had this early 60s VW Bug. The floorboards were rusted out. You could see the road underneath you. The heater didn't work, but it had a killer 8-track stereo. So his priorities were in order. We would blast Toys in the Attic, leaving school most every day. Sweet Emotions and Walk This Way were in constant rotation on FM radio. So Toys in the Attic definitely takes me back to grade 9. Sophomore year, grade 10, and that would be Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive. This is the first record I remember that dominated popular culture at the time. Everybody I knew owned a copy. It was all over the radio. Sold 6 million copies the first year, went on to sell over 10 million. Remember, every local high school garage band ran out and bought one of those talk boxes, learned how to play Do You Feel Like We Do and Show Me the Way. I don't listen to this record at all anymore, but I definitely want a copy in my collection because it's an important artifact from grade 10. Junior year was all about Pink Floyd and Animals. My friends and I, we couldn't get enough of Animals. Pink Floyd played the town I grew up in that year on the Animals tour. Still the best concert that I've ever attended. And I remember buying this on the day of release. That year I was working at a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a job that I would not recommend to anyone. But I was raking in $1.75 an hour, so it's hard to say no to that kind of cash. I worked next to a local department store called Swallens. If you grew up in Southern Ohio, you're very familiar with Swallens. They had a great record department, and the way they merchandised their records, they would just lay the boxes down on the floor and cut them open, and you just reach down and grab the record straight out of the box. I remember that day, that whole floor of the record department was just full of boxes of Animals LPs and Animals 8-track tapes. Pink Floyd in grade 11. And finally, grade 12, my senior year, it would be Pete Townshend and Pete Townshend and Ronnie Lane, Rough Mix. My friends and I, we were big Who fans, so we were going to buy anything related to the Who. the track's hard to hang on to, and My Baby Gives It Away were all over the airwaves that year. So it's a rough mix that always reminds me of my senior year in high school. I would love to hear what 4 records or CDs take you back to those high school days of grades 9 through 12. Thanks for watching, and hopefully a few of you will find this interesting enough to respond. Thanks.